Ladies and gentlemen, last week we saw a jury in D.C. actually read a text message from Michael Sussman, the attorney paid by Clinton to funnel false information into the Federal Bureau of Investigation to get a government agency to use taxpayer dollars to investigate Trump based on absurd nonsense. But that jury actually read a text message that stated, "I am visiting you, James Baker," essentially stated this: "I am visiting you on my own behalf, not on behalf of anyone else. It's very important." They still, and we found out during the trial, which was very important, that of course he was working, billing the Clinton campaign, the Democratic Party, working on behalf of Trump's direct political rival, and still, the text message right there, and still the jury said, nah, he didn't lie. After James Baker, the top legal counsel, Comey's top attorney at the Bureau, stated he's 100% confident Sussman lied to him. There's a text message there. Jury said, nah, we can't. Actually, there are more important things going on than this. And he didn't lie. Anyway, so now we get the Trump Republican alternative here. So Democrats love to, when things go their way, they say, well, that's justice. Of course, they need the trials in D.C. or New York or in the Manhattan Southern District. So what they do is you have a Colorado resident, okay, being tried in Manhattan's, in the Southern District of New York, okay, and this ended up in a mistrial because you had every other person but one amazing human being, one person who was just awesome, stating, yeah, you know what, this is a politically motivated attempt at going after somebody, and he would not convict. So the interesting thing, he would not convict, he would not vote for a conviction in the Bannon trial. So the trial of Steve Bannon, associate accused of stealing donations from a fund to build a wall, has been thrown into chaos by a juror claiming the case is a government, basically politically motivated attempt at going after Trump, and that his fellow jurors are biased New York liberals. And so Colorado businessman Timothy Shea was on trial. It's now a mistrial. But why is this Colorado businessman being tried in Manhattan's Southern District? The Southern District of New York is only goes after Trump. That's like their mission in life. They found another thing. They have his tax returns, the DA there, the new district attorney is not doing anything. They're not indicting Trump for anything. The House panel spent like 500 days investigating. They haven't been charged. They haven't charged or even gotten close to prosecuting Donald Trump on anything because he didn't commit a crime. So then they go after everyone around him. He never conspired with a foreign country, and so we know the deal. We know what happened. They keep saying that Trump is the embodiment of criminality and corruption. They can't find anything to indict the man on or charge him in a court of law because guess what? They don't have evidence. They just have an apoplectic, contempt for the Orange Menace. That's all they have. So anyway, it's really interesting. So the money was supposed to go to a privately funded section of the wall, but prosecutors allege Bannon, Shea, and others raided the charity. So something tells me that the New York prosecutors didn't really care about a Trump-backed, fund or the people that gave money. Something tells me they weren't looking out for the best interests of Trump supporters who gave money to build a wall. Something tells me that the juror was courageous, didn't adhere to groupthink, and that's the type of person I would be on a jury. I'm not going to just go and I'm not going to be intimidated or, coerced into into voting to convict or acquit if I know that everything is just politically motivated. So you have a situation where the juror believes government tried Shea in Southern District of New York because they knew people here vote differently, should have been tried in another state, read one note to the judge late Thursday. So the jurors, it was a mistrial. So one person, just said, no, what, I'm not going to go ahead. I don't believe in the quote-unquote consensus of the other jurors. And, I'm not, it's a mistrial. But the question is, and so the Bannon trial, it was supposed to get Bannon, didn't work out. I mean, that was a pretty easy conviction, you would think. It's in the Southern District of New York. Why they're going after Bannon and a Colorado-based entrepreneur in New York, I don't know. But see, again, that's just pure politics right there. Hit subscribe, by the way, to this channel. Hit subscribe to the Stock Market Crash channel and the Bitcoin Crash channel below in the description section, ladies and gentlemen. I have some important segments on the Stock Market Crash channel today and the Bitcoin Crash channel. We're seeing oil prices at $120 per barrel. Janet Yellen said inflation is with us, going to remain with us, higher than expected, and might even go up. After Jerome Powell and Yellen stated, it's only temporary, everybody knew it wasn't. It's like, these economists used to be economists. Now they're just Democratic politicians who basically, tell the same lies. And so we have inflation at 8 to 9%. GDP was revised. The GDP now estimate at the Atlanta Fed, we're heading into a recession. So, all of these problems are taking place, but we have mashed potato brains Joe, and it's not, Trump, and he's not, his mean tweets aren't, ruining democracy. So, wonderful, morally superior, highly educated, oftentimes apoplectic, liberal Democrats are happy. They don't care. What do they care if there's a recession? Gas prices doubled, food shortages, geopolitical nightmares. At least Trump isn't tweeting. That's the main thing, because, everybody knows his tweets, just dismantled our pristine democracy. But anyway, this is an interesting one. This is the Daily Beast. Liberal loathing juror forces mistrial in Trump-themed energy drink CEOs build the wall case. So, a jury considering whether to convict a Colorado businessman accused of siphoning money from a nonprofit set up to privately construct a wall was thwarted by a lone holdout who refused to consider the evidence. Of course, if he says, hey, this is politically motivated, this is just New York Democrats going after a Colorado businessman, then he just didn't consider the evidence. Don't you understand? And complained of a government, okay, so the federal judge presiding over the trial declared a mistrial on Tuesday after 11 other jurors sent 3 frustrated notes over several days informing her. Okay, they're frustrated because they're New York Democrats, almost all of them, or they're Republicans who don't like Trump. And if there was any Trump voter on that jury, almost certainly they would say, look, it's politically motivated. Maybe they had that one Trump voter, God forbid, oh my God, slipped through the cracks. God bless this man. That one lone, critical thinking, amazing human being. Oh my God, you got the Sussman acquittal. The man actually texted the lie, and the top official at the Bureau stated he was 100% confident that he lied. Of course, the jury in D.C. No. The jury in D.C., by the way, had 3 people or 2 people that gave to Democrats, donated money. And then one person just said flat out, that he or she despises Trump. And they were still on the jury. But then, it's always this hilarious, well, can you still be objective? I guess so, yeah. Well, what? You don't put, You wouldn't put, like, you know, an Auburn fan, or like an Alabama and Auburn fan, or a, Florida State, Miami, or whatever, like SC, UCLA. You wouldn't say, well, can you objectively look at your rival and, I don't know, decide on, if the next recruit should go to your team or the other team? Of course you're not going to be objective. What are you talking about? So when you have these jurors, if they're truly apolitical, I mean, it's not that difficult to find someone apolitical. It's not that, maybe in New York and places like New York or like a liberal city, maybe it's very difficult. But I don't know. It's like this is really hilarious. Bannon, they can't get Bannon either. Which is really hilarious, too. The entire system is leveled against Trump, Bannon, and everyone else. They still can't get him. Because the thing is, it's so obviously politically motivated. Nobody in the Southern District of New York cares about the welfare of anyone who gave money to that nonprofit, nor do they really care about the constitutional rights of the Colorado businessman. I don't know how you try somebody from Colorado in the Southern District of New York. But then again, I mean, with Trump, you can understand he's from New York. But even then, they're just going after him. They had like a 2-second investigation of the foundation, of Clinton Foundation. I believe it was Preet Bharara. He looked for like 2 seconds. Well, we don't find it. We haven't found anything. No. The foundation emails, Bill Clinton Inc. It's in the foundation emails. Nothing. Millions of dollars going into the foundation. We didn't find anything. I mean, Uranium One, and it was a coincidence that President Obama, didn't veto the sale of 20% of U.S. uranium capacity. It was a coincidence. Everything's a coincidence, don't you understand? Hunter, his emails with, how can you use your influence on behalf of the company? 10% for Joe. It's just a coincidence. It means nothing. I mean, they get caught red-handed. And nothing happens. But again, I want a Hillary Trump 2024 or Trump DeSantis 2020. Hillary DeSantis 2024. That's what I want. I think that'll be fantastic. So I don't really care. Like, top secret intelligence on private servers. You know what? Comey wasn't smart enough to actually find intent. So that's fine. We need to redo 2016. So Hillary Clinton should be the nominee, I think, of the Democratic Party. First female president. And if you disagree, well, you're a bad person. We were told that in 2016. And I would love every wonderful liberal YouTuber, progressive YouTuber to tell, quote unquote progressive, to tell their audience to vote for Hillary Clinton again. That's one of the main reasons we need to see that again. It's very important for the world. Because they will. And it'll be absolutely beautiful. And nobody will be happier if there's a Hillary Trump 2024. But anyway, this juror is awesome. And God bless this man. Because this is the New York Times. Juror's political bias prompts mistrial. The entire trial was politically motivated. Just to get anyone associated with Trump, especially Bannon. So, you can't tell me they truly cared about the money lost of people who gave to this fund that no doubt everyone in the Southern District views to be despicable. Anyway, hit subscribe to this channel. Be here in about 3 hours. I have an 8 a.m. segment every single morning, people. So please, please, please set your clocks. 8 a.m. H.A. Goodman, main channel. And then go ahead and watch the Stock Market Crash channel. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. Hit subscribe. And I'll see you in about 3 hours.